Welcome, everyone. We've gathered all of our friends from Agua A Lagoon Foundation to explore nature, the environment, plants, and even animals. So please join us as we bring you crafts, gardening, cooking, all kinds of fun games and activities. We even have our resident scientist here to answer your questions. Get ready as we explore our Agua clip of the day.
Hi guys, it's Miss Nikki. Thanks for tuning in with me again. So today I'm going to talk to you about kelp, seaweed, and coral. What is kelp? It's not a plant and it's not an animal. It is actually a eukaryotic algae. What does that mean? So algae is really interesting. It can be unicellular or multicellular. It typically is only found in water, and it doesn't have the same systems as plants. So there's no roots, no stems, no leaves. If you want to know more differences between plants and algae, you probably want to take a marine biology course, a botany course, or phycology, which is the study of algae. So anyway, what is kelp? What does it look like? It has these gas-filled bladders. The gas inside is comprised of oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. That holds the kelp upright. It can grow incredibly tall, up to 53 meters or 175 feet. And it grows really quickly because each cell of the algae can take in sunlight and photosynthesize. It's also growing in incredibly turbulent waters, so nutrients are constantly flowing in and out. This thing's getting all the food it needs, all the light it needs. It grows very rapidly. It also houses a lot of animals. You have the canopy area and you have the holdfast down below, which kind of looks like a root system, but it's not. It's a branching system that keeps the kelp secured to the ocean floor. Another cool thing about kelp is it has a really interesting relationship with sea otters. Sea otters like to swim in it, live in it. They hold on to the kelp during nap time. They also keep the sea urchin population down at the holdfast at bay. If there weren't any sea otters, the sea urchins could completely destroy a kelp forest. Another cool algae is seaweed. So seaweed actually produces 70% of the oxygen that we breathe. So if you remember in photosynthesis, plants are taking sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water and turning that into a food source. Through that process, they're off-gassing oxygen. Oxygen is what we breathe, remember? So seaweed is incredibly critical in the health of our planet and our own health. We are looking towards seaweed as a really sustainable source because it grows so quickly. In California, we harvest a bunch of it and we use it as food products for animal feed, cosmetic products, and it could potentially be a biofuel for the future. So there's a lot of great things that seaweed's capable of doing for us, and that's why it's so important to keep our oceans healthy. Lastly, I want to talk about coral. Coral is not a plant. It is actually an animal comprised of many little polyps. It's a filter feeder, so that means it doesn't actually move or swim. It waits for food to come by, and then it catches it in its polyps. You may have seen some coral reefs. They have incredible colors, and that's because of the algae that lives on the coral and inside of the coral. Now, if there's a stressor like pollution, climate change, so increasing temperature, habit degradation, the coral may expel the algae, which means it's going to lose its color, and that's what we call coral bleaching. Just because the coral's bleached doesn't mean it's actually dead yet. There is a lot of potential for that coral to recover as long as conditions change and get better. But unfortunately, that doesn't always happen, and if the coral continues to be stressed out, it will eventually die. There are a few different coral reef structures. A fringing reef runs parallel to the coastline. A barrier reef, which you're probably familiar with along the coast of Australia, runs parallel to the coastline, but it is separated by a body of water or a lagoon. And lastly, my personal favorite, which is the coral atoll. It is a ring of coral reef that may protect an island in the center, and it looks pretty cool if you want to check out some photos. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope to see you guys at the foundation. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Agua A Day. This video is brought to you by our sponsors, Hale & Associates and JP Mortgage. Like what you saw so far? Make sure to tune into our YouTube, social media sites, and website, www.aguahedionda.org, where we bring more virtual education to you.